Hello everyone, this is Tom. Let's talk about 1977 and top 20 albums, our favorites. All right, a pivotal year in music, a lot of genres, a lot of different styles. Kind of hard to choose 20, but I've chosen 20, and here we go. Number 20 is Fleetwood Mac's Rumours. Yes, a typical choice. Why is it at number 20? Well, it's been played to death for 46 years. I put it on here because it did make an impact on me when it first came out, but it has been played to death. And there are a few songs I still love on here, probably the ones that haven't been played as much, like Never Going Back, I love that song. I Don't Want to Know, great tune. What else? Secondhand News is great, but do I really need to hear Don't Stop Again, or Go Your Own Way, or Dreams, or You Make Love and Fun? Probably not. So this is coming in at number 20, Fleetwood Mac, Rumours. Coming in at number 19 is Neil Young's American Stars and Bars. This is kind of a hodgepodge collection of songs recorded within 3 years, I think between 74 and 77. It has the epic Like a Hurricane. It has some great backup vocals from Nicolette Larson and Linda Ronstadt on a couple of tunes. There's some country tinge numbers on here. Star of Bethlehem is a great tune, which was on the Decade album. In my opinion, Neil Young really never put out a bad album in the 70s. I mean, his output in that decade was pretty much flawless. I mean, some albums are better than others, but this is kind of somewhere on the lower totem pole of his albums in the 70s, but still, there's great songs on here, and this is coming in at number 19, American Stars and Bars by Neil Young. Coming in at number 18 is ELO's Out of the Blue, a fine collection, a double album, a fine collection of pop tunes with that classic ELO sound. Of course, we have the hits Turned to Stone. We have one of their best songs, in my opinion, which still gets a lot of airplay, Mr. Blue Sky. That's just a tremendous song, really well written, great arrangements. Great album here from ELO, coming in at number 18, Out of the Blue. And number 17, we have the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. Back in the day, I wouldn't have come 6 feet in front of this album. I hated disco so much, but over the past 40 years, I've softened quite a bit, and I enjoy quite a bit of disco music. And compared to what's out there today, disco sounds like Mozart. So this has just an array of great songs written by the Bee Gees. How Deep Is Your Love is just an amazing ballad, really well written. Of course, you've got Jive Talkin' from a few years earlier, great song. Yvonne Elliman doing If I Can't Have You, that's a great version. I like her version the best. Then you got some Casey and the Sunshine Band action, Boogie Shoes, Disco Inferno by the Tramps. I mean, it's just a classic timepiece of an album here, double album. Saturday Night Fever coming in at number 17. Coming at number 16 is the debut from Talking Heads, Talking Heads 77. This is a very raw album compared to what they later delve into with African rhythms and such. It's very just basic drums, rhythm guitar, bass. But it's very, very original. I love the opening track, Oh Oh Love Comes to Town. Of course, it has Psycho Killer on it. A very, 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 should I say, splendid album. Talking Heads 77, coming in at number 16. Number 15 is the second album by Cheap Trick, In Color. Just has some of Cheap Trick's greatest songs, in my opinion. Hello There, Big Eyes, Downed, I Want You to Want Me. Oh Caroline, I love Southern Girls, but I actually prefer the versions on at Budokan. They just have more, they just project more, they're ballsy, they just, there's something about the production on this album. I don't know, it's just very limp considering what kind of songs these are, but a great album of great songs. Again, I like the versions on Budokan better, but a great album. Number 15, Cheap Trick, In Color. Number 14 is the debut from The Damned, Damned. What I always loved about The Damned was their sense of humor. They never really took themselves seriously. And I think this was the official first punk album released in Britain. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the story. Neat, New Rose, fantastic songs. They do a version of the Stooges' 1970 retitled I Feel Alright on side 2, last song. But a great album. I've always loved Dave Vanian's vocals, especially on the latter Damned albums or the mid-period like Strawberries. And you've got Brian James on guitar, which Captain Sensible would later pick up after he left. And then you got Rat Scabies on drums. Great debut from the Damned, 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 coming in at number 14. Coming in at 13 is Jackson Browne's Running on Empty, an album recorded in hotel rooms and tour buses. Some really good stuff on here. The title track is great. I really love Cocaine, version of Cocaine, the blues classic song, not the Eric Clapton one. Just some really good stuff, you know, the Loadout. I think if I had to pick a top 3 Jackson Browne albums, this would be in it, along with Late for the Sky and For Every Man. I love this album. So this is Running on Empty, 1977, coming in at number 13. Number 12 is David Bowie's Heroes. Not my favorite of the Berlin trilogy, but there's some great songs in here. Has one of my absolute favorite Bowie songs, Sons of the Silent Age. There's something about that chorus. It's so demented, but it's melodic and freaky. Love that song. I also love, of course, Heroes, the title track. V2 Schneider is another fave. Good stuff. David Bowie, Heroes, coming in at number 12. Coming in at number 11 is Ian Dury's New Boots and Panties. This guy is fantastic. I think this is his debut album. This is a CD that comes with bonus tracks, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Got a lot of airplay back in the day. Also, Wake Up and Make Love to Me is one of my favorite Ian Dury songs. Just an original, a true original Ian Dury. A lot of humor. Great backup band, the Blockheads. Just really, really uplifting. He doesn't take himself seriously either, like the Damned, and I just love this stuff. So this is coming in at number 11, Ian Dury's New Boots and Panties from 1977. All right, we're down to the top 10, I believe. Are we? Yes. Okay. Number 10 is Nevermind the Bollocks from the Sex Pistols. Flawless record. I have to be in a certain mood to listen to this anymore, though. It's so... It is so angry, right? But I'll always stand by God Save the Queen as one of the greatest singles ever released. Always loved Problem, Submission. I mean, the whole album is great, but you just have to be in a certain mood for this. And, you know, when you're younger, this really fits your mood, especially in your early 20s. So this is coming in at number 10, Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks. Coming in at number 9. And now, okay, Iggy Pop released 3 albums in 77. You have The Idiot, right? And then you have Lust for Life. But there was another album released that was recorded in 75, which I like better than those 2 albums, and that's why I'm featuring it instead of those 2, even though I like those 2. But I always think this album doesn't get enough respect, and that's Kill City with James Williamson. This is a fantastic record, in my opinion. Every song, I love every song. The title track, Beyond the Law, I Got Nothing, Joanna. I love the night theme that ends the first side, then starts on the second side, and Consolation Prizes. That is such a cool tune. And then Lucky Monkeys. And then the last tune is almost sort of like semi-prog, Master Charge. I mean, it's just an album full of variety. And Iggy singing great. The songs are great. I wish they had done more together, Iggy and James Williamson, after this. But I think this is a very underrated Iggy album, and this is probably my favorite Iggy solo. If you could call it a solo record, it's more of a duo. But this is coming in at number 9, Iggy Pop's Kill City. Good stuff. Coming in at number 8 is Peter Gabriel's debut, a fine debut. It's also known as Car. Of course, it has Salisbury Hill, which has been played a million times, but I love all the other songs. Moribund, the Burgermeister starts to set off. You've got Modern Love, Excuse Me, and Humdrum just on side 1. And Humdrum is such an awesome song. I think the first side of this album is flawless. Side 2, not as good, but still, I mean, Waiting for the Flood is one of his great songs. That ends side 2. You've got Slow Burn starting off side 2, which is great. The only drawback for me on this album is Waiting for the Big One. It goes on just a tad long. I don't mind Gabriel doing a little blues workout, but it's just a little on tad long there. But this is a fine debut. No one really talks about this album much, but I think along with the Melt album, the third album, this is his second best album for me. And where he's being more adventurous, now he's kind of catered to the whole yuppie crowd. Ever since the So album, I don't know, I just really haven't liked anything he's done since then. But I still love Gabriel's classic output, his early solo albums, and all the albums he did with Genesis are just magical. So this is coming in at number 8, Peter Gabriel's first album, also known as Car. Okay, and then we got number 7, an absolute classic from Bob Marley and the Wailers, Exodus, an absolute perfect, almost very slick down version of his sound. Doesn't hurt the songs at all. Natural Mystic, So Much Things to Say, Guiltiness, The Heathen, and Exodus, all on side 1. And then side 2 plays like a greatest hits. I mean, they took almost the entire side 2 and put it on Legend. Jamming, Waiting in Vain, one of his best ballads. Turn Your Lights Down Low, another great Marley ballad. And then it ends with Three Little Birds, One Love, People Get Ready. A classic reggae album, one of his best. In my opinion, everything from Catch a Fire to his last album, Uprising, is just masterful. I think the guy is just one of the greats. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Exodus, coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is my favorite of the Berlin trilogy of David Bowie, the Low album. The first side is just all short little pop ditties, deranged sounding stuff. I love the second side a lot. Warsaza and Art Decade are amazing songs to listen to at night. On the first side, Speed of Life, Breaking Glass, What in the World, Sound and Vision is great. I love Always Crashing in the Same Car, Be My Wife, A New Career in Town. Very landmark album here. It took a while for people to really realize the brilliance of this album. Now everybody's rating it very high. Definitely be in my top 5 Bowie albums of all time. Always love the color too. There's something about that orange color. It's just really cool. This is coming in at number 6, David Bowie's Low. Coming in at number 5 is the first album the Kinks released for Arista Records in 1977. Kind of abandoning their concept era, going into a more of a straightforward fashion. I'm playing straight ahead rock. It doesn't hurt the songs at all. This is a great set of songs. And in my opinion, one of the last great, excellent Kinks albums from start to finish, starting off with Life on the Road. The title track is one of their great later singles, Sleepwalker. Jukebox Music, another great single they released after Sleepwalker. Sleepless Night, Stormy Sky, Full Moon, Life Goes On, one of Ray's greatest songs about just continuing life amidst all the hardships. So a great Kinks album. Coming in at number 5, the Kinks' Sleepwalker. Coming in at number 4 is The Clash's debut. This is an original pressing here from '77, British release. It was also released in '79, an American version, but it doesn't even compare to this sequence of the original British pressing. Every tune is great. This is a flawless album. Janie Jones starts it off, Remote Control, with lead vocals by Mick Jones. I love White Riot, What's My Name, Deny, London's Burning, all on side 1. Amazing stuff. Career Opportunities starts side 2. Cheat, Protex Blue, Police and Thieves, 48 Hours, Garageland, a punk classic. After London Calling, my favorite Clash album. So the debut album from The Clash, coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is the Asia album by Steely Dan. When this came out, I was 12. I bought this brand new. This is an original copy. Has that kind of slick kind of cover. What can you say about this album? It is an album a lot of people either love or despise. They think it's too slick. I think that's what makes it good. It doesn't suffer at all for the slickness. I think they became even more slick after this with Gaucho. And that's where the problems start for me with sort of the production with Gaucho onward. It started sounding very mechanical. But this is the last time where it actually sounds like there's real players and real music playing. First side is one of their best sides. Black Cow. Asia is one of the greatest epic songs ever on an album. The arrangements, the melody, the sax solo by Wayne Shorter, the drums by Steve Gadd, amazing stuff. Deacon Blues, amazing song. And on side 2, you've got Peg, a big hit. Home at Last, great song. I Got the News and Josie rounding it off. An absolute landmark album in recording, structure, arrangements, you got it, everything. It's just an amazing record. Very important album. I'm a huge Steely Dan fan. This wouldn't be my favorite Steely Dan album, but definitely in the top 3 or 4. But great album. Asia, Steely Dan, 1977, coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Elvis Costello's first album, My Aim Is True, a perfect record, one of the great debuts of all time. To me, his first 3 albums, it's really hard to beat that 3-album run that he did there. This album, though, what can you say? Angels Want to Wear My Red Shoes, one of my favorite Costello songs, Less Than Zero. It's just a perfect album. Allison, Sneaky Feelings, Watching the Detectives. Perfection. It really introduced a new global talent to the rock idiom. Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True, coming in at number 2. And number 1, for me, 1977, is television's Marquee Moon, another absolute landmark album in rock and roll. It's an album where the guitars carry all the songs, just about. The vocals are just kind of, they're not really providing a ton of melody, but it's the structure of the songs and what the guitars are doing is just unbelievable. With Richard Lloyd and Tom Verlaine, what they're doing on that title track, Marquee Moon, is just amazing. It's just almost hypnotic sounding. It's about 10 minutes long. It's one of just the most epic songs from this era. Also, See No Evil, a song that R.E.M. covered back in the mid to late 80s a lot. One of my favorite songs on the album is Guiding Light. Such a beautiful song. The way it builds up, so great. Elevation, Prove It is awesome. Ends with Torn Curtain, a perfect record. One of the most important albums of 77 and rock and roll. And that is it, my friends. My favorite top 20 of 1977. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.